What up, guys? Any Tier Guild Forever. Going to be reviewing Rent a Girlfriend chapters 13, 14, and 15. These chapters were, in my opinion, one of the better ones I've read. Out of everything I've read up at this point for Rent a Girlfriend, everything else was good. Some were kind of meh, but I feel like these three kind of hit the right spots. And why did I said it like that? That just sounded so... Forget I said that. Anyway, point that I'm trying to say is these three chapters were really good. I definitely liked all three of them. They were very much emphasizing Kazuya and some sense of growth or responsibility or some sense of self-duty he wanted to have towards Misuhara after everything he put her through. Especially that was shown very well in the more last of the the last chapter that I read when he dived down to save, or it was mostly chapter 14, I think. Yeah, he dived into the ocean to save her. Honestly, that's good on him. That's really good on him. And that act did not go to waste. Because when he did that, that obviously drew attention to Mizuhara. She was definitely, she was pretty, she did not look pissed. She did not look mad. She looked extremely happy towards the end of it that her heart started racing. So, he did a good job. He won him some brownie points with the rental. And honestly, I'd rather him win points with Mizuhara than Namini. Because Namini, Jesus Christ, dude. She is just all around just a... She is a piece of work. That girl. That girl has problems, man. Like, no joke. That girl has legitimate problems. But overall, it was still great to read. We didn't get that much Namini in here, which is great. I feel like any chapter that has less of her is a great chapter. Because the more I see her, the more I feel like punching my screen. Which I'm not going to do, obviously. This is a very expensive computer. But you get the point. When I see her, I have the urge to punch the screen because I don't want to see her thought ass on my freaking screen. But either way, it was good for the most part. I enjoyed where the pacing of this series is going. I like how it's going overall in general, and I look forward to what more surprises I'm going to look in store because I did not expect these chapters at all. And by the end of it, I was extremely happy knowing the fact that Mizuhara and Kazuya got closer together. Now the point is, when is he gonna realize that? When is he gonna realize like how much she cares for him versus Mami? Because between the two, which it's called, Mizuhara is the one that actually cares about his well-being. Despite being a rental, she is the one that gives the most actual you-know-what for this guy. Despite the fact that, in my personal opinion, Kazuya does not deserve Misuhara, because Misuhara is kind of like... I'm not just saying that because she's out of his league, but this guy can't decide on anything. And most of the times he usually thinks with his... But overall, especially toward the more last chapters that I read, which is the last two, he did a good job. He sacrificed his time that he could have had with Mami just to go save someone more deserving, in my opinion. And he was right for that. He was right, and I was very impressed with his resolve. Like, he wasn't one of those characters where, like, I had to think about it. He didn't even think about it. He just literally went on impulse. The moment he realized that Mizuhara fell into the ocean, he was like he just dropped his phone and leaped into action. And honestly, that's the kind of thing that I want to see more whenever he's like this. You know what I mean? He does things without really thinking about it. He does it based on his own natural instinct, and his natural instinct wants to save her more than anything else. And honestly, Kazuya is getting better as a character. Is he the best protagonist I've seen so far in comparison to other harem animes? Of course not. There are much better protagonists than Kazuya. Then again, who is I still say to this very day when it comes to MC harems, I personally think Subaru is a great one. I don't care what anyone says. Subaru may have his faults, but at least he does try to do right by them every single time. Kazuya is slowly starting to go that route. Like he's a character from the jump that you know that he is a flawed character. He has his flaws, he has his mistakes, he has his issues. But you know what? I think it's better to see a character that comes from nothing or starts off as a mess and later on develops into someone better. Because anyone can like start off badly, but it only takes a good one to finish off greatly. So even though he's like a character that's rough around the edges, with some development and fine tuning, he can come out pretty polished. So I will say, even though he's had his share of very bad situations and very bad decision makings, almost cringy like, he's slowly starting to come about on his own, and I'm very much proud of him for that. I just hope he keeps this up. Do not screw this up. You're in a good position right now. Forget mommy. Literally forget that girl, dude. I still don't understand to this very day how he doesn't even realize, after all that trash talking she give him, that she is not a good one. She is not worth it. Like, for me, if I was in his shoes and she was trash talking me, bro, that is a clear sign for me, like, yeah, she ain't a good one. I ain't gonna pursue that, chief. I am definitely not pursuing that. This is not it, chief. Control Z on mommy. That's all anyone needs to do. Just Control Z on her. It's like we went playing her route this whole time, and we got to a point where we got to see her true nature. Control Z that shit. Let's start off in a different route. I know I just basically did like a visual novel reference, but hey, sue me. What can I say? It's a harem series. Deal with it. But overall, again, I'm very much enjoying the pacing of this manga. Will I say I like it a lot? I wouldn't say I like it. Hold up. Let me think about this. I wouldn't say I like it a huge lot, but I will say I'm liking it in general. Like, overall, it's very readable. This is a good, decent read. I definitely recommend anyone, but actually, I wouldn't say anyone, because if he is the type of character that starts off flawed and eventually over the course of each chapter begins to develop and becomes a better person, then no, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, especially if people lack patience. If you're someone that doesn't like a character straight from the jump and aren't willing to be patient to see if they become better, then this definitely isn't the manga for you. It's like Chizuru is like all around perfect, while Kazuya is all around imperfect. And it's up to our main character to see past his imperfections and use these situations as like a trial and error thing. Even though you've done a lot of big mistakes, even though you have a lot of flaws to you, you're eventually going to come about on your own, and you're going to know how to handle situations better later on. So again, even though he starts off flawed, that doesn't mean he's going to stay that way. It just means there's more room for improvements. And once he's fully improved, then he will be a very likable character. So in my opinion, I feel like this method of development for a certain main protagonist is not a bad thing either. And to some degree, I feel like Kazuya is very relatable, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys out there that would make the same mistakes as him. I'm almost 100% certain. But you know what? At least we actually get to see someone, even though they're doing a lot of mistakes and they're having a lot of poor decision making, they're gonna come out of it better than ever, a better person for it. And you know what? He's gonna get himself a nice chick on the side too. But overall, guys, that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, sub if you haven't already. Really motivates me to put more content out there for you guys as my guildmates. And yeah. I'll see. I was wondering like how many more days do I have to go on with this? I haven't checked yet, but I'll check after this. Anyway, guys, peace. I'm out.